One of the biggest pain point that every small business has, I have been consulting these small businesses, and the common theme that has come across is the mismatch between the IT operations and the business operations. Now, if you see, operations are how do we work, which is your general business operations, and IT is what are the tools that we use to make this work. Now, if they both are not talking to each other, there is a big mismatch. And because of this, a lot of businesses are losing a lot of time, resources, and just busy in doing those monkey tasks, copying, pasting data from one application to the other, and spending most of the time in the tasks which do not make them money rather than the tasks which actually make them money. One simple way to fix this, there is a philosophy that I use for this, is we simplify, then we automate. And before doing any of this, you need to systemize your system. Say, for example, you have a bad process. Now, if I automate a chaotic process, it is going to amplify chaos, as simple as it is. This is our number one rule in Dozent, that we never ever automate a bad process. I'm gonna show you 5 proven ways on how we automate the business. We transform it from starting to the goal that every business owner has, is generating more money. Here's the 5-step proven process that actually helps you transform your business. It is tried and tested. We have helped so many small businesses to transform their business. And now, how does it actually work? Step 1, the friction audit. Now, this is the audit that we have designed specifically for small and medium-scale businesses. This audit asks you a lot of questions on the challenges that you have, the bottlenecks that you have in your business, the time or the repetitive task that you use within your day-to-day activities. There's heaps of questions. Now, there is a score that we have attached to these numbers and benchmark against some business standards. So what are we doing here is, after you fill that form, the audit, it generates a scorecard. It is like a traffic light system. There is a red, yellow, and a green. Red means it's a critical area that requires an attention. Yellow means that you are somewhat there. There is some sort of semi-automation that is happening. And the green means that you are actually you've got some automation that is happening, and you've got some good processes that are built in. So step 2, the process blueprint simplification. It is as simple as it sounds. We actually do a workshop with the founder or your team so that we can identify your business processes. We map your processes from start to the end. Then we strategize those work. We design SOPs that are made specifically for your business. These SOPs help your business create good processes that we can then automate. We combine the step 1 and step 2 together to form an operational blueprint. Now, this is the free assessment that we are providing right now, and we take about a week's time to do this with you and your team. Once this free operation blueprint is created, it gives you the entire mapping of your business processes. We then define them into small SOPs that are then created using knowledge management system in your business so that it can be accessible and you wouldn't have to repeat that again and again. Once the operational blueprint is created, after that establishment, there is a step 3, which is the unified tech spine integration. This is the core. We do a system sprint here. So what we have established at the operational blueprint is now time to make a recipe out of that. So SOPs are the processes that I was talking about. Now, once the processes are defined and it is a good process, we need to now give it more power. And how do we give more power? We now apply those fixes in your existing system to create automations where your systems are running without your presence. So let's say, for example, you have a customer that tried to reach out via website. They filled a contact form. That contact form is now sending the details over to your CRM. In your CRM, a lead has been arrived. Then after your team responds on that lead, we then convert that lead into a different status, which is like connected. That means that lead is now moved into a different state. In this state, you can trigger multiple options. An email gets sent to the user. The user gets a response. They know when to book a call. The call gets booked automatically using a third-party tool, which is Calendly, for example. And then they are then seeing you in a online call where we auto-transcribe and take those transcription, make those notes into the system that goes into the call. Your sales team has the right information of what the requirements were. That gets passed on to your further operational team who actually does the work. So start to the end, there is a proper lead funnel that got created. And that's what we're talking about, the fix here. Now there are different types of CRM. These CRMs are based on number of criteria. There are some small CRMs based for some small organizations. There are CRMs that are for bigger organizations. We really need to identify what are your needs so that we can help you guide the right tool that is required to get the best out of your transformation. Now that we have applied the fix, it generally takes about 4 to 6 weeks to go through that process. That depends on the complexity of the project. Step 4, the AI automation layer. Now, I'm not saying everyone actually needs this. Some businesses are at that level that need to have a pivot, which they need to go through some learning phase to be able to use that technology. This is where we come in. We create those knowledge management for your team so that they have the right information, the videos that they can follow on how to utilize that systems and softwares. This AI automation layer is a next step once your business has achieved to the core level, which is the fix for this. We then work with your team to further transform and speed up to the next level. Now, what is the next level? Now, what I've seen in some of those businesses is they have few softwares that are working in silos. We then create some recipes. For example, talking about creating an app that is specifically designed for your business. Let's say that app has the functionality of a CRM. It has a functionality of a task management. It has a functionality of a communication manager, all built into one. So that you are now saving your cost because you don't have to pay for 3 different softwares. You don't have to switch through number of different tabs to work through different softwares. And you are now in a unified platform. So this is a very bespoke solution that can be created based on your business requirement. And this is where we hold your hands during this transformation project and we become an AI transformation partner with your business. Number 5, which is the handover and the training. Just what I've mentioned earlier, handover and training is the biggest and the very important part of this transformation. This is where our team work with your team to create a full knowledge base of, let's say we have implemented a software, which is a CRM software. Now, there is a one-on-one session that happens with your team. We run that session, record those sessions, and also have video recordings and snippets on how to use the CRM. For example, how to create a contact, how to move the contact to a deal, how does the deal get assigned, and then how do you send the contract for review. These are the simple 3 scenarios on how we can create those 1-minute, 2-minute videos that you don't have to repeat that for your new onboarding staff. They can just go through a little course, rundown of how we use the systems and tools, just like how it's actually used in some sort of enterprise organizations which you may have seen or may have worked with. And lastly, the step 6, we call it cruising. Why do we call it cruising? It is an ongoing support that we provide you guys. Basically, we work with you down the line to further provide some iterations, optimize your existing systems, make or tweak those little changes that you request on the go, and to be able to make sure that everything is in order and is working as it's supposed to work.